Today marks 1239 days lessons I learned and continue to learn with all of you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and will empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today, I speak about complexity and simplicity. I think that we are humans, we have a very complex mind, we have very complex bodies, and a lot of times we believe that success, results, meaningful things supposed to be complex. And I think that this is one of the biggest misconceptions. I truly believe that in simplicity, true success is. Because when we complicate things, we get out of the way. We get we get into the things in the details that do not matter. Simplicity is the bigger picture. Simplicity is that 80% that truly matters. Now, of course, when we achieve that 80%, 90%, at some point, maybe when you want to go beyond expert level. We want to really go into those details. We want that complex things. It is great. But at that moment, we're able to make those complex things simple. But if you're going after complex things right away, I think that's where everything goes sideways, especially when people say, oh, you need to have multiple income streams. And then having multiple income streams is a complex thing. And majority of people who are very successful, what they say focus on one thing, very very simply, focus on one thing, make it successful, and then more making complex and do more other things, and exactly thing in so many different areas. So they will share simplicity, 7 areas of our lives, 7 areas of lives. What are those simple things, that foundational things that gives us 80% of results? So health and fitness is very very simple. It's very very simple. There's so many people. I love health. I love health and fitness. I spend a lot of time researching, getting information, and there's so much information, so much information. But when you think about the foundational things, what are the foundationals? When you focus on those three things only, you will have better health. I think that I always used to overcomplicate, and I never had apps. Now when I finally said, okay, I'll do only few things only, and it's just crazy how much results I've got in a short period of time just by doing three things and three things only. So what are those three things? Eat whole foods. Eat whole foods. Being able to eat just how it's made, like being able to really not eat ultra processed foods. That's pretty simple. It's simple. Of course, sometimes it's not easy. I think that when you get addicted to certain foods, it's sometimes hard to say no to it, but it's very simple. So eat whole foods, move daily, exercise daily. It doesn't matter how small it is. And the third is sleep well. Three things, and three things only. And even like when you say you want to develop apps, so I looked into Google, what are the exercises are the most important. So I found that there's basically three exercises that really helps the most develop the apps, and I did that 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 days per month. So I do 2 days exercise, one break, 2 days exercise, one break, 5 minutes a day, and I was able to achieve great success. Rather than before, I used to do like really long 10 exercises to really develop, and I never get anything. And I think the simplicity in health is very, very important. So I will repeat, simplicity in health and fitness is eat whole foods, exercise, and move daily, move activities, and sleep well. And a high rate, of course, but that's like additional. Number two is wealth money management. I think this is again very, very simple. Again, this is we overcomplicate. To be successful, to be wealthy in the long run, what do you need to do? We need to make sure that we save, we we spend less than we make, and we invest. We need to make money, of course. That's 100%. But we need to being able to save. Of course, the more money you make, the more you save. But so many people who are making certain amount of money, they're saving nothing, then they start making much more money, and they're not able to save money anyways. Because the true success in wealth is not just about how much you make, is how much you're able to save from how much you make. So three things and three things only. So save money, spend less than you make, and invest the money. And of course, in the long run, there is no chance to lose. Number three, productivity and time management. I think that is very, very important. So, what is truly most important? Again, this Pareto rule 80%, 20%. I think that the most important part about really time management productivity is priorities. What are the priorities? What are the number one, number two, or number three, three things that really moves the needle forward? And when we think about time management, always think about two things, time management and energy management. So when you have that priority, okay, how much time do I give and how much energy do I give? And that's it. That's the most important part. How much time do I give and how much energy do you give to my most important priorities? And I think that when we do that, it's almost impossible not to win. Again, this is simplicity. Simplicity. Now, there's a lot of different techniques to time manage and all those things. But I think that when you focus on that one thing, that one thing, understand priorities and allocate your time and energy to those priorities, and that's it. Number four is relationships. I think that is, I think of it again, we overcomplicate things as well. We think about all the things that we could say, what they will say, and then I think that's it's good some preparation. But I think that what is simple thing, what really moves the needle forward, and I think that the most important part is really how to have honest, clear, and kind communication. How to have honest, clear, and kind communication. I think that's an important part. Being able to really say that this is what it is. I think that maybe they will not appreciate at that moment, but they will appreciate in the long run. Because if you sugarcoat and then let's say honestly how you feel, how it is, it will long run will destroy relations. I think that that's the beautiful part, the simplicity part. That simplicity could potentially make it harder at the moment, but in the long run it will be much stronger relations because it's built massive trust when you're able to be honest, clear, and kind at the same time. And it's interesting that there's a big difference between being kind and being nice. I want just to touch it. Being kind is to tell them the truth, and sometimes even that hurts. Being nice is to tell what they want to hear, and being able to be kind is that's why it's so important. Number five is happiness and mental peace. Again, there are so many routines, habits, everything that we potentially could do to really improve that mental peace. But I think that there's three most important things as well that really those foundational key things that we're able to focus to really have that simplicity. So gratitude, presence, and meaningful connections. That's it. When you have those three things, mental peace will be great. Gratitude, presence, and meaningful connections. That's only what we need to really be able to really have that mental peace, to really pursue the things that matter. That the things that matter. Because mental peace doesn't come from actual things. Because a lot of times people say, "Oh, this person is going through the storm. Probably they are depressed, or they are disappointed, or whatever it is." But when you have gratitude, when you have presence, when you have meaningful connections, it doesn't matter what storm you're going through. You still have that inner peace that's so important and joy and fulfillment. So important. Number six is learning and mastery. And I think that's the most important part about that. There's only one thing that I want to mention about that, about mastery, is that we have a tendency to learn and learn, learn and learn. And I learned recently a word that I really, really love is that we have a tendency to have a sickness, and that's called infobesity. Infobesity. That means we gather so much information in our mind that our mind is so big and it's almost like a pad because it's not necessary. What really matters is taking action. Because a lot of times when you take action, you start to realize, oh, this information was not useful at all. Now, that information is important, but I never looked into it. But when you actually implement right away, so that means that just start and learn along the way. I think that's so much more powerful that constantly educating and constantly taking action. Not just taking action, not just educating. No, taking action and constantly educating. 80% on action, 20% on education. I think that's one of the easiest way to really get parallel rule is very powerful. Easiest way to learn and get mastery at anything And success and any kind of growth and career growth, life growth, what are successes? Again, it's very, very simple as well. So, in simplicity, what is success is showing up, being consistent, and really adding value. And there's a lot of things. Success in personal life is exactly the same. Showing up for yourself, being consistent, and add value to yourself. About others as well. Showing up for others, being consistent for others, and adding value to others. In business as well. Showing up in business, be consistent in business, and adding value in business. So every single thing, when you think about success and growth, those three key areas is abnormally enormously important. Because showing up is such an interesting thing because most people don't even show up because when they are not ready, when they are not feeling great, when they don't feel good, they don't want to show up. They want to stay at home under the blanket and they don't show up. So being able to show up, you are already 70, 90, 80% of ahead of people. Now, when you start to really say, I'm consistently doing that, I'm developing myself, and I'm starting adding value to it, of course, there's no chance not to succeed. So hope you reflect as well. So what are the things that you make it too complex? I'm making a lot of things too complex, and I think that I need to always remind myself that okay, so there's I put so many things on my plate. How I could really make it more simple? How can I simplify? What are the three things in here in my plate that could be really give me the most results? Because I think that every single thing that we do over time brings some detail that it doesn't add value. So being able to focus always about simplicity and ask a question, what do I need to do to really get the most results with the shortest period of time, with a simple way, really brings enormous results. So I hope you choose to win. I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.